Greetings everyone everywhere, this is Ryan Thomas and you have tuned into the onlyest, loneliest Emo-Punk Whiskey Tater Raider. I am so stoked. I'm going to see Jawbreaker tomorrow night here in Orlando, so I had to wear my Jawbreaker to represent on what is my second ever review episode. For those fellow Taters new to join the gathering, I, Ryan Thomas, hereby represent the all too often marginalized emos and punk rockers amongst the Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Demon Drink community, reviewing all things whiskey, pairing with some great music to enjoy with your libation. Now, as I said, this is my second ever review, and I wanted to kick it off right away with one of my favorite hooches of the year, but I actually have a tie for two, and they are very different, so I totally had to flip a coin on which one to go first with. The one that ended up on top is one you've actually probably been hearing an awful lot about lately, the incomparable, one and only Uncle Nearest 1856 Premium Whiskey. To first enjoy this whiskey, it is important to understand the story of the Uncle Nearest brand and the history of Nearest Green, who was the first known black master distiller. Not only was in employment of Jack Daniels, but taught old Jack himself how to distill. I won't do much justice telling the story myself, and I think it's important for you to discover and read about it on your own, but it is a surprising story of truth, heritage, honor, justice, empowerment, family, society, awareness, peace, and kindness, all of which are not only a core value for all things punk rock that you will undoubtedly relate to, but very, very much alive and relevant today. So on to the drink itself. The bottle that I have here, you'll notice, is autographed. I had the pleasure of being invited to a diversity event, and the founder and CEO of Uncle Nearest, one of my absolute number one heroes, Fawn Weaver, was part of it. I was just absolutely blessed to have made her acquaintance, and not only did she sign this bottle for me, but she also gave me a handshake and a great big hug as well. It was awesome. Let's talk about the contents of the bottle now. We'll start with the aesthetics of the color. This is a nice, bright, shiny amber hue, but it fades pretty quick to a much more shaded and Sumerian soul, giving a view into the depth only matched by the bygone times of the Nearest Green Chronicles. Okay, now let's talk about the fragrance. On the nose, Uncle Nearest flourishes like a fresh breeze blowing across a field of straw and barley, but like its color, there is a drain to a deep earthy depth with characteristics of scorched oak, sassafras leaves, sun-warmed apriums, and maple molasses. Now for my favorite part, time for me to put it in my mouth and shut up for a moment or two. Cheers. Wow, with so much complexity and color and on the nose and being a 100 proof, you would totally expect a spicy nip on the tongue. However, there is a rather pleasant, silky caramel delivery before opening to a slow rupture of spicy maple licorice, almonds, cherry vanilla soda with whispers of campfire roasted marshmallow ashes throughout. This whiskey is round, refined, complex, balanced, and absolutely sublime to drink. Okay, so now on to your musical pairing. Uncle Nearest is an independent, black-owned company, and considering its diary and narrative, I have found it best to indulge in music that would match that history. I suggest we get in our Wayback Machines. We go to the mid-70s to arguably the first punk rock and all-black band, Death. Death is from Detroit, not the metal band Death, hailing from the Central Florida area. Death does have a limited catalog of what you can listen to, and you have a whole bottle to enjoy here. So I recommend you take a turn and get yourself to Bad Brains pretty quickly as well, one of the most influential all-black hardcore punk rock bands of its time. On your journey, why don't you go ahead and sprinkle in some Bob Marley as well, huge, influential social justice advocate who just had such an impact on the punk rock scene and influenced so many musicians. Then let's take a turn into the 90s. Let's go with the all-black alternative punk rock ska hip-hop band Fishbone with a very strong anti-racism message that nobody else was really talking about at that time and didn't seem to really come back up until recently. But I wanted to take a leap just a little bit forward to an all-black punk rock band from the Dirty South, 904, South Duval County, Whole Wheat Bread. Definitely one of the best punk rock bands in the past 20-something years to come out. Their album, Hearts of Hoodlums, is absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't wait to put that in and pop open my Uncle Nearest and pour myself a nice, neat glass of it. Also, though, if you're putting in whole wheat bread, please make sure that you put in Minority Rules, because that has some of the best punk rock hip-hop you will ever hear. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. If you have any kind comments that you would like to leave below, please do so. Subscribe if you would like. Tell your friends if there is a recommendation of a whiskey that you would like me to give a try, or perhaps a band that you want me to listen to. Maybe it's your band. I'd be more than happy to do so. Send me a message on my Insta. But until next time, my friends, fuck racism, make your own choices, stay emo, and always punk responsibly.